Hi everyone, I am one of the avatars for graduate student Kathy Valunas. As your guide for this academic journey, I want to welcome you to this media format that documents my year-long action research. To set the stage for this sightseeing trip, you will be watching a series of promotional and informational video clips. So relax and enjoy as we start with an introduction of the problem I wanted to solve with a group of high school teachers.
The adventure begins with a look at the process. The first step after defining the problem was conducting research to uncover evidence of what had been tried by others, as well as to provide a foundation of facts by which to compare my research. 90% of the current literature focused on collaborative social networking and training teachers in how to utilize Web 2.0 tools and media-rich materials. I used the ADDIE model throughout the project, with the analyze phase focusing on surveys and input from participants. Hi research participants, welcome to the first activity that you're going to be completing, and this is a survey. It's a needs assessment to tell me where your skill levels are, how comfortable you feel using technology, and some places where you think you would like to have some additional training.
The development phase was the exciting part because that's where we began to put everything together. Took a lot of planning during the first cycle. We played with things, explored, saw what worked, what didn't work. I ended up working more one-on-one, but we had 3 different phases in cycle 1 and 3 different phases in cycle 2. Each phase brought some additional items to the table. Projects, activities, hands-on, testing out of skills, looking at different resources and sharing links amongst everybody that was involved in the entire project. So it was a good exploration time. We've kind of worked out all of the kinks and know exactly where we're going to go because they want to continue this for next year. The design phase was almost just as exciting as the development. We looked at different ways to network. What technology did they want to use? What Web 2.0 tools did they want to try? I introduced a number of different types of lesson ideas, some activities they could try, resources that I wanted them to explore, like virtual worlds, for instance, in Second Life, taking their students on virtual field trips, looking at different ways they could make their life easier and less stressful. So they tried a plethora of online tools. They created blogs, they tried a wiki, they looked at photo galleries, and had a lot of fun. The next phase was implementation, and for our teacher action research community, I built a website using Google Sites, and we ended up putting it on a server at the school as an intranet instead of having it posted on the internet. They wanted to have a little more secure site. It still worked very well. We had navigation links. Teachers were able to use a Dropbox. We had an intranet connection, so it was an actual physical link for them to go to and use as a Dropbox to submit assignments, lesson plans, handouts for students. At the end of the project, they worked in teams within their departments with technology teachers and with some of the senior students to actually build units. In the middle we had messages, all kinds of information that was pertinent to the project as well as the end of the school year. The project just ended, so there was a checklist that they had to go through of everything that needed to be submitted, their journals, take the final survey, and so forth. The favorite link that most of them preferred was the blog, podcast, and Google sites. So when you clicked on this, they were able to actually post a link to their blogs within their classrooms. A lot of the teachers also made podcasts, things that they could share with their students or within their departments. One of their favorite resources of Web 2.0 tools was Podcast with a Purpose, and it talked about how to create a podcast, how to plan this into your lessons, how to write it into your curriculum that you're going to use podcasts, planning out the tutorial or the information you wanted to give them, gave instructions on how to do recordings. I posted a few examples and there were plenty of tutorial videos for them to use. So it actually went quite well. By the end of the second cycle, they were pretty much doing everything on their own with very little direction from me. So I think when we set this up for next year, it's going to be real easy for them to complete. When I introduced gaming as a process for assessment, I had mixed reactions from teachers, but the students loved the idea, and actually they did very well. And the teachers thought this was a terrific option for assessing student success. I used the ADDIE theory for the entire action research project, and during cycle 1 and 2, the teachers also were given information about how to use it with their lessons and planning units. For evaluations, we used pre- and post-cycle surveys. I got journal reflections submitted to me during the entire project. We had conferencing, Skype calls, and then at the end they created Voki, voice narration feedback, to provide information for preparation of next year's project.
This was a great idea for working with other teachers in our departments. I think having students working with us added another plus because our seniors are not afraid to take risks. These students know the teachers and their fellow classmates well enough so that their contributions were more relevant. Also, this has helped the teachers at our school realize that my programs and my students can help them out with videos and other media that could benefit their individual lessons and programs. Please consider helping us this summer to build our own community.
I am so pleased to see how well this project has worked. I am hoping that it is part of the answer of how to make our test scores get better. I hope this core group of teachers will be able to share their ideas with others and plan to request a demonstration for our fall and service sessions at the beginning of next year's classes.